Hello, my name is Noah David, and this is my personal synthesis on my second quarter of Life Issues and Social Ethics with Deacon LeBlanc. Starting off my overall synthesis, I'm going to be formulating an overall theme that's going to summarize my overall learning experience in quarter two of Life Issues. And this phrase, motto, or slogan, whatever you want to call it, is going to be place yourself in other people's positions, or put yourself in someone else's shoes. And this overall motto definitely summarizes my whole experience in quarter two because every assignment and every module definitely gave me a new perspective on life. Honestly, it gave me a new, it educated me on what other people may need to go through. It told me certain situations that I wasn't even aware of, and overall, it made me think about how can someone live like this, especially me because I'm so blessed to have everything that I have. It definitely made me think. Well, what if I was put in this position? How would I react? What would I do? Could I get help somewhere? And it definitely overall this quarter really educated me on different problems that go on in our world and how certain people may need to react to it, and how me, much more fortunate people, can give back to those people and definitely help them. To support my theme, I'm now going to be choosing three topics and I'm going to be synthesizing all of them by describing what I learned from them, the various vocabulary that relates to them, and how those topics really changed me as a human being, and how I can use this newfound information in the future. The first topic we're going to be looking at is the How Do Marianists Do Social Justice assignment, which is found in the Social Justice Introduction module. And looking back at this assignment, what I learned is that social justice is much more than volunteering and donating various things such as clothes, food, and medicine to give people their immediate needs. Instead, social justice is a step above that. Social justice looks to the future, and social justice tries to reform systems and society in a way where everyone can fulfill their human dignity, and it tries to eliminate the need for people to rely on various organizations. And additionally, social justice is also a way of thinking to have everyone thrive, instead of having certain people live lavishly while the people on the bottom are barely just getting by and are suffering because of it. And all in all, social justice is just a way that tries to build the world to fulfill God, the image of God's kingdom, instead of having the top percent succeed, the middle class surviving, and the bottom half, the bottom classes, barely getting by and sometimes even suffering. And using this newfound knowledge in my future, I can not only still volunteer at food banks, donate clothes, I can also think about ways where how can I eliminate this need of people to keep relying on various organizations. I can try and focus on how can I make a situation not only better for a person, but how can I make it escapable? How can I have someone rise up? How can I have someone live a better life instead of them having to come back and always relying on these organizations? How can I have them fulfill their human dignity, and how can I have them live independently and be proud of what they have? Another assignment that taught me a lot has to be the 30 days minimum wage assessment, which is also found in the social justice introduction module. Looking back at this assignment, I was educated on the various themes of Catholic social teaching. And for example, I learned about the dignity of work and the rights of workers, which states that an employer must establish appropriate conditions where their employees feel empowered to work and earn enough to live. And I also learned about the option for the poor and the vulnerable, which means that God invites us to care in a special way for those who need the most help, for example, the poor and impoverished, and that it is our responsibility to do so. Using this newfound knowledge for my future, I can remember that human dignity must always be protected no matter what, and a healthy community can be only achieved if human rights are protected and our responsibilities are fulfilled. And for this reason, every person has a fundamental right to life, and a right to those things is required for all human decency. And also adding to this, I can also remember that these themes must be followed in order for everyone to succeed, reach a common good, and reach eternal love with God. And finally, the last topic we'll be going over is going to be the Social Justice Project, which is found in the Social Justice Project module. Looking back at the presentation that Oshin, Cole, and I did, we learned a lot more about poverty. And although all of us have general overview on what poverty was, we learned a lot more details about it, and we even cultivated ways on how to stop it. For example, in terms of the details of it, we learned that the federal minimum wage is only $7.25 per hour, which is little to nothing. And we also learned that the elite 1% of the population have great political power, unlike the bottom 99%, which have little to no political power. And for this reason, the top 1% causes government and causes policies to be very biased towards themselves, and they do nothing to benefit the bottom half of the population. And additionally, in terms of the ways on how we can stop poverty, we came up with ideas to create more jobs by having the government rebuild infrastructure such as abandoned buildings, neighborhoods. We also had an idea to raise the minimum wage from $7.25 per hour to $10.10 per hour. We also had a way to improve affordable childcare and early education, as poor families pay almost 1/3 of their income for childcare and the chance to work their jobs. And we also had an idea to reform the criminal justice system and create laws for better reentry to society, as those with a criminal record have very little chances on getting education, housing, jobs, and overall help. Moving forward, using this newfound knowledge I have on poverty, I would definitely use this knowledge to try and give back to my community and those in need a lot more. For example, instead of just volunteering at soup kitchens and food banks like I usually do, I'm going to try and go above and beyond by donating more, donating clothes, and try and formulate ways where instead of these people having to keep coming back to these organizations, I would definitely try and think of ways where they can live on their own with dignity and be proud of what they have. But other than that, I would definitely be more thankful for the blessings that I have, and I would definitely thank all of those that helped me get to the position where I am a lot more. But overall, using this newfound knowledge on poverty and its statistics, I'll try and give to my community a lot more and try and help those in need to rise up from poverty, and I hope to restore more human dignities throughout the whole world. And overall from this course, I not only learned about my faith and myself, but I was also greatly educated on how to provide for others and restore goodness and human dignities. And moving forward, I would definitely use this newfound knowledge to better myself as a human being and how to assist others. And I'm greatly thankful that I had the opportunity to learn from Deacon Joe, and I look forward to my future as a religious student and U.S. citizen.